Welcome to the ultimate 1920s Prohibition Era Trivia Challenge. 30 questions. Fast, fun, and full of roaring history. Here is how it works. You will hear a question and 4 choices. You get 15 seconds to think before the answer is revealed. Aim for 24 correct out of 30 to hit 80%. Ready? Let's go. Question 1. When did nationwide prohibition officially begin in the United States? A. January 17, 1920. B. November 11, 1918. C. October 28, 1919. D. December 5, 1933. The correct answer is A. January 17, 1920. The 18th Amendment took effect on January 17, 1920, marking the start of nationwide prohibition. Question 2. Which constitutional amendment created nationwide prohibition? 17th Amendment. B. 18th Amendment. C. 19th Amendment. D. 21st Amendment. The correct answer is B. 18th Amendment. The 18th Amendment banned the manufacture, sale, and transportation of intoxicating liquors. Question 3. What law is best known for defining and enforcing prohibition at the federal level? A. The Sherman Antitrust Act. B. The Volstead Act, National Prohibition Act. C. The Espionage Act. D. The Social Security Act. The correct answer is B. The Volstead Act, National Prohibition Act. The Volstead Act, officially the National Prohibition Act, set enforcement rules and definitions for prohibition. Question 4. Under the Volstead Act's definition, a beverage was considered intoxicating if it contained more than what percent alcohol by volume? A. 0.5%, B. 2%, C. 3.2%, D. 5%. The correct answer is A. 0.5%. The Volstead Act set a very strict threshold. Anything over 0.5% ABV counted as intoxicating. Question 5. Which amendment repealed nationwide prohibition? A. 20th Amendment. B. 21st Amendment. C. 22nd Amendment. D. 23rd Amendment. The correct answer is B. 21st Amendment. The 21st Amendment repealed the 18th Amendment and ended nationwide prohibition. Question 6. On what date was the 21st Amendment ratified, officially ending prohibition nationwide? A. July 4, 1933. B. December 5, 1933. C. January 1, 1934. D. February 14, 1929. The correct answer is B. December 5, 1933. The 21st Amendment was ratified on December 5, 1933. Question 7. What was a speakeasy during the 1920s? A legal bar that served only beer. B. An illegal secret bar that sold alcohol. C. A type of police raid. D. A government liquor license. The correct answer is B. An illegal secret bar that sold alcohol. Speakeasies were hidden, illegal drinking spots that operated during Prohibition. Question 8. A person who illegally made, transported, or sold alcohol during Prohibition was commonly called a temperance worker, B. bootlegger, C. prohibitionist, D. G-man. The correct answer is B. bootlegger. Bootleggers supplied the black market with illegal alcohol. Question 9. Smuggling alcohol into the U.S. by sea during Prohibition was often called rum-running, B. moonshining, C. wiretapping, D. gerrymandering. The correct answer is A. rum-running. Rum-running refers to transporting illegal alcohol, often by boat along coasts and waterways. Question 10. What was moonshine in the Prohibition era? A homemade illicit liquor, often distilled secretly. B. A legal low-alcohol beer. C. A brand name for Canadian whiskey. D. A nickname for federal agents. The correct answer is a homemade illicit liquor, often distilled secretly. Moonshine was illegally distilled alcohol, often produced in hidden stills. Question 11. Which Chicago gangster became one of the most famous bootlegging bosses of the Prohibition era? Al Capone, B. J. Edgar Hoover, C. Eliot Ness, D. Calvin Coolidge. The correct answer is A. Al Capone. Al Capone became notorious for running a major bootlegging empire in Chicago. Question 12. In 1931, Al Capone was ultimately convicted primarily for a bank robbery, B. murder, C. tax evasion, D. kidnapping. The correct answer is C. tax evasion. Capone was brought down in court on tax evasion charges. Question 13. What was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre's date? A. February 14, 1929. B. February 14, 1920. C. December 5, 1933. D. October 28, 1919. The correct answer is A. February 14, 1929. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre took place on February 14, 1929, in Chicago. Question 14. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre is most associated with gang violence in which city? A. New York City, B. Chicago, C. Los Angeles, D. New Orleans. The correct answer is B. Chicago. The massacre occurred in Chicago, a major battleground for Prohibition-era gangs. Question 15. Which rival gang leader was the intended target in the St. Valentine's Day massacre but escaped? Bugs Moran. B. Lucky Luciano. C. Meyer Lansky. D. Frank Nitti. The correct answer is A. Bugs Moran. Bugs Moran was the North Side gang leader targeted. He was not present when the shooting happened. Question 16. Which Prohibition agent led the team nicknamed the Untouchables in Chicago? Eliot Ness. B. Bell Boyd. C. Wyatt Earp. D. Eugene Debs. The correct answer is A. Eliot Ness. Eliot Ness led a hand-picked team of incorruptible agents known as the Untouchables. Question 17. Eliot Ness worked for which federal organization during Prohibition? A Bureau of Prohibition. B. CIA. C. NASA. D. Peace Corps. The correct answer is A. Bureau of Prohibition. Ness was a Prohibition agent within the Federal Bureau of Prohibition. Question 18. Early federal Prohibition enforcement was housed under which U.S. department? A Department of the Treasury. B. Department of Education. C. Department of Agriculture. D. Department of the Interior. The correct answer is A. Department of the Treasury. Prohibition enforcement began under the Treasury Department, which oversaw alcohol and tax-related enforcement. Question 19. Which of these was a legal way to get alcohol during Prohibition? A. Buying it openly at any bar. B. A doctor's prescription for medicinal liquor. C. Ordering it from a public vending machine. D. Importing unlimited liquor for personal use. The correct answer is B. A doctor's prescription for medicinal liquor. Medicinal alcohol could be obtained legally via a physician's prescription and a pharmacy. Question 20. Which religious-related exception existed under the Volstead Act? Unlimited beer for weddings. B. Sacramental wine for religious rites. C. Free whiskey for veterans. D. Legal rum-running for churches. The correct answer is B. Sacramental wine for religious rites. Sacramental wine for religious ceremonies was exempted under Prohibition rules. Question 21. Bathtub gin most commonly referred to. A brand of legal gin sold in pharmacies. B. A popular cocktail served in hotels. C. Homemade gin mixed or produced illegally, often in homes. D. A government-approved industrial alcohol. The correct answer is C. Homemade gin mixed or produced illegally, often in homes. Bathtub gin was a slang term for homemade or improvised illegal spirits. Question 22. The 21st Amendment is unique because it is the only amendment that banned alcohol forever. B. Repealed another constitutional amendment. C. Created income tax. D. Guaranteed women the right to vote. The correct answer is B. Repealed another constitutional amendment. It is the only U.S. constitutional amendment that repeals a previous amendment. Question 23. How was the 21st Amendment ratified, unlike most other amendments? By state ratifying conventions. B. By a national referendum. C. By the Supreme Court. D. By the President's executive order. The correct answer is A. By state ratifying conventions. The 21st Amendment was ratified by state conventions rather than state legislatures. Question 24. What is Repeal Day in U.S. history best known for? A. The day Prohibition began. B. The day the Volstead Act passed. C. The day Prohibition ended nationwide. D. The day the 18th Amendment was proposed. The correct answer is C. The day Prohibition ended nationwide. Repeal Day marks December 5, 1933, when the 21st Amendment ended Prohibition. Question 25. When was the 18th Amendment ratified? A. January 16, 1919. B. January 17, 1920. C. March 21, 1933. D. December 5, 1933. The correct answer is A. January 16, 1919. The 18th Amendment was ratified on January 16, 1919, and took effect a year later. Question 26. Which organization was especially influential in pushing for national prohibition? Anti-Saloon League. B. Federal Reserve. C. NAACP. D. United Nations. The correct answer is A. Anti-Saloon League. The Anti-Saloon League was a powerful temperance organization that helped drive prohibition into law. Question 27. Al Capone's criminal organization in Chicago is commonly known as the Five Points Gang. B. Chicago Outfit. C. Purple Gang. D. Murder Incorporated. The correct answer is B. Chicago Outfit. Capone led the Chicago Outfit, a major Prohibition-era criminal syndicate. Question 28. Near beer during Prohibition was a beer secretly aged in basements. B. A legal malt beverage with very low alcohol, under about 0.5% ABV. C. A nickname for bootleg whiskey. D. A term for a speakeasy bartender. The correct answer is B. A legal malt beverage with very low alcohol, under about 0.5% ABV. Near beer referred to low or no alcohol malt beverages marketed legally during Prohibition. Question 29. Before full repeal, which 1933 law legalized low alcohol beer and wine, a major first step toward ending Prohibition? Cullen-Harrison Act. B. Pure Food and Drug Act. C. Glass-Steagall Act. D. GI Bill. The correct answer is A. Cullen-Harrison Act. The Cullen-Harrison Act, signed in 1933, legalized low-alcohol beer and wine before full repeal later that year. Question 30. Which U.S. president signed the Cullen-Harrison Act in 1933? A. Herbert Hoover. B. Franklin D. Roosevelt. C. Woodrow Wilson. D. Harry S. Truman. The correct answer is B. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Cullen-Harrison Act, which allowed low-alcohol beer and wine.